In my research project, I had 5 objectives that I wanted to achieve throughout my research project. Objective 1 was to define shooting, handball, and work rate, which was found in my literature review. My first objective was to complete very early on. No, my first objective was completed very early on. This is one of the first aspects of my research project and outlined the key focuses of my research. I clearly defined shooting, the handball rule, and work rate. These were then used throughout my investigation and compared within each match I analysed. The evidence in which I explain these factors can be seen in the second slide, which was found in a literature review of my research project. Objective 2. I was able to design a notational analysis system to compare 2 performances by Liverpool FC by creating tagging panels through the software Dartfish. This allowed me to complete the objective. The tagging panels that I created displayed a range of factors that I could use to compare 2 performances by Liverpool. The factors were easy to apply to both games, which ensured the analysis was valid. These tagging panels can be seen in this slide and are directly transferred from Dartfish. Objective 3. This was to compare the shooting, handball rule, and work rate of the striker. I created these graphs that suited the specific factor. These graphs clearly displayed the performance of the striker and allowed me to clearly analyse the differences between the 2 performances. This objective was therefore completed. The graphs are displayed here and can clearly show how the different results that were created after each performance. So I decided to use this form of graphs as it clearly displays differences through the same graph format. This therefore makes it easy to see and clear to identify the differences between each performance and the effect on the shooting, the rule break, and the work rate of my striker. Objectives 4 and 5 were completed in the same region of my research project. This link will take you directly to the discussion part of my project. I was able to complete these objectives by detailing the differences and similarities between the 2 performances of the striker. This allowed me to go into detail and fully analyse both performances. I was able to complete Objective 5 within the discussion section of my research project by both outlining the differences of handball, work rate, and shooting of both the striker and Liverpool FC. This allowed me to complete Objective 5 as I both discussed the performance of the striker and Liverpool. This therefore meant I compared the 2 performances and the 2 striker performances. This created a full discussion and outlined the analysation I came up with, and therefore completed the final 2 of my objectives. Strengths. I found that choosing football as my sport was very beneficial for the project. This is because I have the widest range of knowledge on football over any other sport. Due to playing football myself for many years, I can relate my own knowledge onto the project, which creates a valid and reliable analysation. Knowing a lot about sport ensures I know what is going on during the analysation of the matches. This allows me to follow the game closely and decrease the chance of me making an error which affects the reliability of my project. Having knowledge of football also allowed me to know the difference between specific skills. For example, my tagging panels had specific types of shooting, and therefore knowing the difference between all these shots allowed me to ensure I was pressing the right shot at the right time. This again overall helped me with my analysation of my project and assisted in the reliability of my project. This is because I knew specifically when to press each button and when which type of skill was being done. This benefited me as I could keep up with the match pace and not miss specific shots which could affect the validity of my project. This again helped my analysation of my project and assisted me in my reliability of the project. This is because I knew specifically when to press each button and which type of skill was being done. This has benefited me as I could keep up with the match pace and not miss specific shots that could affect the validity of my project. Alongside helping me with my video analysis, it also helped with my final discussion. I was able to get a very reliable discussion due to my knowledge of football. In my discussion, I was able to relate my own personal experiences and therefore come up with suitable and technical drills for my future recommendations. If I were to do a sport I had low knowledge on, my coaching drills would be ineffective and less technical. Therefore, doing football as my sport meant I could get an effective and detailed discussion that developed my analysation of my project. In my areas for improvement and future recommendations, I can use my own personal experiences of drills and develop these to be specific to my team that I was analysing. This means the drills will be effective towards my discussion and my analysation. If I were to use a sport in my project that I didn't have as much knowledge over, I would increase the chance of the project being unreliable and also increase the chance of me making errors throughout. This is because throughout my analysis of the matches, I would be less accurate at deciding what specific shot might have been or if a rule break was displayed. This is because I will not understand the sport fully and therefore may have been less accurate when pressing my tagging panels. Again, decreasing the validity and reliability. This therefore benefited Liverpool FC and the striker as it displays a valid and reliable analysis of their performances. This ensures that any improvements they wish to make will be specific to them and improve their performances. This will also allow them to make specific drills and sessions that work on their weaknesses and allow them to improve and better themselves to ensure these mistakes and weaknesses are improved. This will increase their performance as they are able to display new skills and increase their shooting and work rate throughout the performance, which may increase the chances of the team have of scoring. Another strength throughout my project was the use of Dartfish. Dartfish is another strength within my project. This computerized notation system allowed me to have continuous and accurate results throughout my whole project. This type of notational analysis ensured that each match was being analysed in the same way, therefore increasing the reliability of my project. It also meant that everything was analysed in the same format, increasing the validity of my analysis. Dartfish is one of the reasons why my project was so accurate and reliable. This decreased the chance of having any errors throughout my project due to all the data being kept on the computer. It meant I could copy data straight onto my new documents. This therefore reduced the chance of any human error that could have potentially affected the reliability of my analysis. Using computer notational analysis meant I had all my data ready and only took a small amount of time to set up. This allowed me to be very time efficient and ensure my project was finished well inside the time limit. This was very efficient for my project as it meant I didn't have to rush any of my analysis, which ensured everything was accurate and valid towards my final analysis and still done on the deadline. Dartfish was also very simple to use. Having tagging windows in one place meant I could easily keep up with the pace of the game I was analysing. This meant I could press the button sufficiently throughout the match and ensured I was pressing the correct button at the correct time. Due to them all being together meant the analysis ran smoothly and reduced the chance of me making any mistakes. The panels were very clear and easy to understand, which allowed me to analyse my matches without any assistance. Again, making the analysis much more time efficient and accurate. The software also meant that both matches were analysed on the same circumstances. The data displayed on Dartfish is automatically saved. This therefore meant I have finished analysing one match. I could put the second match straight into the exact same format and ensured nothing had changed. This ensures the validity and accuracy of my research project as nothing was changed between the analysation of both my matches. This will therefore benefit Liverpool FC as it means that both performances were analysed in the same way and ensures the results are accurate of both performances. This will allow them to create specific drills and sessions that were specific to the analysis. This will ensure that the improvements will be specific to the teams and will increase their performance as they will be working on the negatives of the investigation. This will improve their performance as a team as they will be able to demonstrate in their performances the weaknesses they once had. This is by referring to the analysis of the investigation and creating specific training programs in reference to their weaknesses found in the discussion of my project. This also ensures that the coaches don't create sessions that are not specific to the team. If the results were not valid and reliable, it may lead the team to make improvements they do not need to make. This will waste their time and overall not make any impact on their team's performance, and they will not improve. Time management. Throughout my research project, I believe that I had good time management, and this therefore benefited towards my research project. This is because having good time management meant that the research done was carefully analysed and I have taken time throughout each section of the research. Taking time on each section means I didn't rush any parts that could have led to a mistake in my research. Having a mistake may have affected the validity and reliability of my research project. If the data was recorded incorrectly, it would have meant the results were not specific to Liverpool. Therefore, having good time management meant that my focus was full on each part of the project and ensured I didn't move past any sections without careful consideration. Having good available time within each part of the analysis meant I could clearly watch the game footage closely and carefully, without missing key parts. It is crucial that I watch all the footage to ensure I analyse as much as there is available. This allows me to make an accurate and reliable analysis of the matches. This in turn will supply Liverpool FC with clear and valid points of their performances, and they will clearly identify their strengths and weaknesses within their performances. This will allow them to create sessions in where they can deliver the performance analysis to their team and therefore increase their players' knowledge of the performance and allow them to improve. Having good time management also increases the validity and reliability of my project, as it meant there was a lower risk of mistakes. If I were to be rushing my project, I may miss key features within the matches and therefore have incorrect graphs and tables displaying the results. This would have therefore been incorrect and displayed an inaccurate comparison of the two performances, leading to an incorrect analysis. Therefore, having enough time during each step meant each piece of data discovered was correct and accurate for the research. Weaknesses. One weakness I found throughout my project was the quality of my footage. The quality of my footage could have affected the validity and reliability of my research project, as it wasn't always clear and easy to follow. For example, within my footage there were replays in specific stages in the matches, and therefore confused me during the analysis. Having replays in the footage may have caused me to collect more data than what was visible. For example, I may have pressed the same tagging window twice for only one piece of footage. Due to the replays, it may have been unclear which was the actual game footage and what was showing again. This could have affected the reliability of my research project, as the data collected wouldn't have been accurate. This therefore may have meant that one game was incorrectly analysed and therefore affected the whole discussion section of my project. It would have also meant that the tables and graphs displaying the data collected were inaccurate and therefore would not be compared in the correct manner. This overall would have affected the whole validity of my research project, as the data collected would not have been specific to Liverpool, as the tagging panels may have been clicked inaccurately. This therefore does not give a suitable representation of the team, as the data collected was not specific to them. This would affect them negatively, as it may have meant the coaches would have worked on things that they have not even been a weakness to the team. But because it was analysed in this way, the team will take the data provided. If this data is incorrect, the team will not benefit from it, and therefore may continue to have weaknesses in areas that were not analysed correctly. Some of the footage was also hard to watch due to the quality. This therefore made it difficult for me to watch the matches and analyse it correctly. Having picked one specific position to follow, it was crucial that I followed the striker carefully. However, with some of the footage being hard to watch, it may have meant I didn't analyse everything the striker did. This included the work rate of the striker. With unclear footage, it may have meant I didn't clearly analyse every movement made by the striker, and therefore not press the walking, jogging, and sprinting panels when displayed by the striker. This therefore may have meant me to collect data inaccurately, and therefore it will not be specific to the striker. This therefore may have led the striker to make improvements they may not have needed to make, and therefore miss out on improvement on things that they need to. This will decrease their performances, as they may not be working on skills and factors that need improving. Dartfish access. Dartfish is very suitable and an accurate software to use in my investigation. However, it is only available to use within my college campus. Due to the cost of this program, it is not available to use outside of the college computers provided. This therefore makes it much more difficult to carry on with the project outside of my campus. This negatively affected my research project, as it meant I couldn't analyse my footage at specific times. Not being able to access the software at home meant I couldn't carry on with the project. Although there were other sections available for me to work on at home, the analysing needed to be done before all the other data was collected from the footage. This therefore meant the research project was put on hold until I returned to college. This could have negatively affected my research project by making it less time efficient. Only being able to access the software at college meant I couldn't complete any work from home. This could have led me to falling behind on the workload and therefore not get the project handed in before the deadline.